All right, so we're getting back to work on the gifted derby car. All we have to do is the trunk and then paint it. The trunk is a huge job. And then we have, huge job. Yeah, painting it's a huge job. Tires? Tires are a huge job. We need to put new tires on the front, new tires on the rear, spiff those wheels up, or we have to move King Fred because King Fred is in the way. So we're gonna go work on getting all King Fred moved. Then we gotta call Zachy. Zachy's gotta tell us how to do the trunk.
What about that one?
Oh, that one. I forgot about this one. Hillbilly's been raising
oh
a
my
pet spider.
gosh.
That's a little one. So Hillbilly brought his pet spider to work today.
I don't like that.
He's got another one right here.
That's Charlotte.
Oh, it's dead. Why is his legs down there? Did it get eaten? So there was a huge spider here, and you can see it's been murdered. Legs are there. This is a crime scene. This is an active murder investigation back here. So we'll leave that alone. Anyway, Hillbilly's got to fix up his car and derby it. We got to move Fred. We're just going through everything, seeing what we've got to disassemble. We have the bumper all done. We've got the arms. We got the wheel lift. We got bracketry. We got the boom bracket, wheel lift bracket. We have the light bar bracket. We got the winch. I've got all sorts of stuff that we're going to be loading onto a pallet and taking to Kevin. There's a few more things that need to be disassembled, and we'll have this ready to start loading onto the tow truck. A few more things need to be done on the boxes. Sean's working on that. And then Hillbilly is taking a bracket off of the tow truck that I will fix. All right, so that was rusted on. Hillbilly got it all broke loose.
Okay, so Robbie said we need to take off the feet part of these, or of the wheel lock piece, and then the wheel chocks. That is not ready to go get sandblasted. Okay, Sean got all the holes drilled. So I went through and marked where the new holes are, so that way Sean can weld up the old holes, so we don't have a bunch of holes in the side panel.
Who has the welding helmet on?
Who's got the welding helmet?
Who's been welding the longest? Who's been welding the longest?
On this bed.
Not on this bed, but I'm talking about in a lifetime.
Well, Hillbilly's just finished up a few things on the bed, grind a little bit. I figured I would take the teeth off the wheel block. All right, so while the guys are working on everything out there, I'm working on getting this side bracket for the bed welded up. I'm gonna get it all clamped to the table, and I'm gonna TIG weld it. Colton noticed we've got a rust spot in here, so we're gonna wanna cut that. We have another one, so this one's really rotten. If we can just use the other one, that'd be great. So we're trying to get this all finished up, because we have a derby car to work on. We have 2 derby cars to work on. All right, so we had dual tanks at one point. This one is still black. So we're gonna send this one out. This one's getting thrown in the garbage. All right, we got that all ground down. I could take and weld over it again and fill it up, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fist plate over my weld. So I'm gonna cut this down and make a fist plate. What a fist plate is, it's the plate that you put over top of a weld. I'm only gonna do one side because that's gonna be flat against the frame. It's a little tweak, but when we bolt this thing up, it'll pull it in and be just fine. I just wanted to put my name on the truck somewhere so that in the next life, whoever rebuilds King Fred again, they'll know that I worked on this bracket.
Bed's all done, so we're gonna pick it up, move the stands, set it back on the ground because it started to fall off the stands. We'll hurry and get this all rearranged and then start loading things.
So I just got the hydraulic pump off of the winch. I'm trying to tear this thing down so that we can coat all the parts. Now this thing's been painted a few times, but they never took it apart. So we take everything apart because we are glutton for punishment and we like to do that. So I gotta go get me a catch pan, and this has gotta come off. Whoa, oh, don't do that. Dang it. That was dumb. Don't turn your pump.
So the bed is all washed off, and now it's time to put it on the tow truck, and it's time to take it to Kevin.
All right, so Hillbilly is getting outside pressure washed. I'm gonna take all the masking off, and we're gonna push this truck outside so we can get the derby car in. So we'll just get it unmasked. Once he's done, we'll push this thing out. All right, we got King Fred out. It's taking us all day long, but we're going to get the derby car, and we're getting that sucker inside so that Hillbilly can start working on the tires, start working on the trunk. We gotta get this bad boy finished so we can paint it and go and destroy it this weekend, right? You have to work on your car too.
That's why we have to get yours done so I can work on mine.
Oh. All right, we've got the old beauty inside. I'm gonna have Hillbilly work on the tires. We're gonna switch the front, switch the rears, get the rear rim situation. We got a bent rim.
I want to bend it back straight. So I'm gonna walk out back, see what tires I can find and rims I can find for Robbie's derby car. I have to dig through these tires. Okay, so my life just got a little bit easier on doing tires because the two fronts that I found, which are the right tires, are already mounted up on straight rims. But now I have to run to Gunnison and see if I can't find two more rims that are not bent and are in good shape, ready to run. Everything that Robbie has here are all bent. Okay, so the type of wheels I'm going to Gunnison to get, they're called SS wheels. Robbie loves to run SS wheels, so once we get down there, I will show you what an SS wheel looks like. Okay, we made it to the other lot and found the SS wheels. So if any of you guys out there have any SS wheels, let Robbie know. He's always in the market to buy more SS wheels, and this is what they look like. Okay, I got them loaded up. Only need two. I was only able to find two. So now we're heading back to the shop, and then probably gonna go home. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm gonna hurry and get the front tires switched out.
All right, it is the next day. It looks to me like Hillbilly got the front tires and wheels on and polished. Oh, we even polished them. Found us some new SS wheels for the rear. We got to cut out wheel centers and wheel bead lip protectors. So that's gonna be a big job. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the plasma today. But we gotta call Zach because we have a trunk that we don't know how to build. We need to build it.
Bumby, do you know how to build a trunk? Nope.
All right, Zach's a little fired up because I told him I'd call him yesterday, and it's a whole day late. He just let me know he does not stand for that. Anyway, he's gonna call me back in 15 minutes, and we're gonna go over the trunk. He's gonna tell us where to notch, tell us where to bend, tell us what to do with this rear bumper. So anyway, I'm gonna get working on the computer-aided drawings. All right, so before I can do the wheel centers for the wheels, I gotta make some brackets for Sean. He's doing the light bars on King Fred. So these are gonna be what holds the Radius Baja Designs light across the front. So I gotta figure this all out, but I'll figure it out.
I'm putting the rear of the car on jack stands, so when Zach calms down and calls Robbie back, he can explain how to tuck the trunk. But I do know that I can take the tires off because we'll need them off. Okay, while we have the tires off, I asked Robbie if we should take this lip and beat it in so we don't get it caught on the tire, and he says, yeah, probably. So I'm gonna, probably beat this lip in. And I want to grind the rim.
But you just got done polishing it.
Well, this part you don't see. So that way we can get the bead protector welded on.
Okay, what do we do? That is the same car I have. Okay, so all thread straight through the hole. Wait, no, the big hole or the little hole? Okay, so the big hole. Thread straight up. Hey, so shut the deck lid and cut it at 24 inches. So 24, okay, slice braces under floor at the same mark as we're cutting the floor. Okay, so that gets done very last. Cool, I got all my notes. I'm gonna call you back later because I'm gonna forget some of them, but you're the best. All right, got a lot of stuff to do. He said weld the brackets to the bumper, super good. Weld them to the frame, super good. You can cut this off, and by the time I get back, I'll be able to help you.
I only heard bits and pieces of how to tuck the trunk, so hopefully I don't mess it up. We had to take the bumper off so we can weld the brackets to the bumper and then the brackets to the frame. So I'll do that because I know I can't mess that up. So now it's ready to come off. I'm gonna need Colton's help to take it off. So we'll show you once it's off. Okay, got it all ground up on the bumper. So I'm gonna start welding it, get it all welded, then I'll ground the frame up and we'll put this in place. Okay, now we're gonna get the frame cleaned off where it mounts, then me and Colton will throw it back on there, put the bolts in, tighten it up, and then I'll weld that on there too. Okay, bumper's all welded on. So now I'm gonna cut the trunk lid. Okay, now I want to take half a deck lid off, so that way we can bend it. We're gonna mark 16 on the bottom side and then run the tape line because we're gonna bend it. Now I'm gonna show you how we bend trunk lids for derby cars. That's what you do, is you put the edge of the bed right where you want to bend it, and then we'll show you the next step. Oh. Now we take it in and wait for Robbie to see what we do next, because that's at his notes.
All right, so Hillbilly and Colton are getting a ton of stuff done. We still need to get the torch out, cut across. We need to measure this, and then we're gonna cut here. And then we got a dish. Both sides.
Oh.
Okay, so I want to run out to the derby van to see if we have any 1-inch all thread. And last time we searched all over Sanpete County trying to find it. And I don't remember if Robbie found some and bought everything they had, and so we have extra, or if he only bought what they had and was enough to do the last car. So we better go find out. How's the all thread? I don't know, 1 inch 3/4. I think it's only 3/4. Yep, it's only 3/4.
Yeah, not long enough.
No. So now we better run to Hermanson's and see if he has something.
All right. That is a full center. So we got a 3 1/8 inch center. I'm gonna do some programming and get, oh, I need some 3/8 plate throwed up there. All right, we got it all programmed up. Gonna get this cut out and we'll weld them in. Woo.
And we're off. This is what we need. So I need 2 of these, a bunch of nuts, and a bunch of washers. Okay, I got the all thread. It's only 7/8, but that's an 1/8 or a 16th off of an inch, so oh well. So now I'm going to cut a hole right there, check the fitment with the all thread, make sure it's wide enough. Do the same thing on the other side.
Now we can bolt them in on the bottom, right? Yep, but I gotta make a plate. I think we got some.
A square plate?
Right here. I think I seen right there.
Perfect. Okay, got my plate in place, my washer in place. Now it's time to see if that's enough, or do I need to go shorter or longer? Oh, we're good. We're golden.
I'm getting the wheel center bolted into this wheel. So what I'm doing is I'm reinforcing these SS Chevrolet wheels with a 3/8 inch wheel center that I built on the plasma table. Weld that in, and then I have a wheel lip protector. Now what these are, if I get hit, the wheel lip of my wheels. So these will get welded in just like that. It'll make it super strong, and the center will be super strong so it can't bend when it gets hit. I'm gonna be doing these 2 SS wheels for the rear tires. Hillbilly's working on the trunk stuff. We have 2 more days to get this derby car finished. And that means painting it too.
Got it notched down the side with the triangle cut like I'm supposed to on both sides. So now I'm gonna put the deck lid on and find out where I need to blow these holes at and where to cut for the trunk to go through. Okay, I'm gonna cut me a piece of 6-inch plate. I'm gonna put it in the center and start in the center. Because as soon as I got this all tightened down, the center was like that far too low, lower than the back part of the car. So I'm gonna put a plate there, tack it in a few spots, and then I'll tighten this down to where I want this all flush. And then I can start welding plates on to hold the trunk down with the bolts.
All right, we are welded. That only took me like 4 hours. We've got all the wheel lip protectors on, got the wheel center in, fully welded. Now we move on to number 2. And then this will have to cool overnight because it is so hot. All right, so we're using a BSM 36-foot standing belt on our Ameribrid. We're gonna make the so much easier. I was grinding it by hand with a BSM 6-inch 40 grit disc. It was doing awesome, but it's just slow. We get this dialed in so we can get the wheel center down inside that wheel and get it welded in. I want to get these done today so that tomorrow we can install the tires on them and it all cool down. Then all we gotta do is with those, just got that trunk all finished up. I'm gonna tap this in and see if it'll fit. All right, I got the wheel lips on. They've just got to be welded in fully, but I've got the wheel center all welded in, and it is hot, hot, hot. So I'm gonna get this all set up where I can weld the outer lip. The last one I welded, it is welded downhill, but this one I'm gonna weld upright so that I can go a little bit faster. I feel like I can weld like this just a little bit better and get it burned in. All right, we just had a special delivery. We overnighted some parts from Japan and they just showed up. I think Japan is Wisconsin in this case. There's a company called Stainless Steel Manufacturing and they build demolition derby drive shafts called a Naret slider shaft. This car has a drive shaft that is about 10 inches too short. So we ordered a super duper long one. That, my friends and folks, is what a $1,000 drive shaft looks like.
Ooh.
But you know what? You got to pay to play.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't even the correct side. So this sucker's fully balanced, and we call this a slider drive shaft.
Ooh.
Look at that. We'll save the fun for Hillbilly in the morning. We'll let him go and install that for us in the old car. So we've got drive shaft, tires, paint, Hillbilly's car, and we will be ready. Oh no, and power wheels. Don't forget your kids' power wheels. Power wheels. She's ready to go home. So it is tomorrow.
Okay, it's the next morning. So now I'm just gonna feel around, make sure there's no sharp burrs that can potentially rip the tube when I'm putting it in, which there's a couple of them. So I'm just gonna run this around it, make it smooth and non-tube poppable. Okay, so last night the driveline showed up and Robbie unboxed it and showed you guys. So now it's my job to get it installed. And I don't want to lay on a bunch of metal shavings and dirt and bolts and all that. So I'll hurry and get this swept up and we'll bring you right back. Okay, I got all the back ones loosened up. I'm gonna pull them all out but one. Or no, I'll pull them all out. I forgot this driveline doesn't just fall off.
Oh!
Okay, so the reason we're changing the driveline is because all the ones Robbie have are way too long and won't go in, or way too short, take the chances of falling out because the slip yoke is maxed out as far out as it will go, and we don't need any of that happening. So Robbie got the right one. Okay, driveline, new driveline, expertly installed. I almost forgot, in order for this trunk tuck to be complete, I have to cut the trunk bracing right here all the way. Okay, we're on a kind of a standstill on Robbie's car, so he told me to start working on my car. Got my derby car back here, so I'm gonna start with the harder stuff. Then we'll start with the steering, get that all fixed, radiator, get that all fixed, tires, and then I'll do the frame.
All right, so it's time to mount our super not expensive tires on our super expensive tire machine. Everybody that does derby tires needs a very expensive machine. We'll pop this out of the way, get our tube in, then we'll finish mounting the top side. I'm gonna put the valve stem right here so it's easy. All right, so we have an unconventional way of using this tire machine. So I've got a little hook, we'll just grab it, and now we can get our tube put in. So on my derby cars, I always tube them with MR1415 tire tubes so that you don't blow your tires as easy. I like to get them spread out and then I'll let the air back out. See, it's nice. All you gotta do, shove your tube, and away we go. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll get the valve stem set before we do the top side of the bead. So on these, I put little baby vice grips to hold the valve stem. This out of the way. Now it's time. These tires are no joke. Now, I do want to point out the fact that Hillbilly can mount these up on the floor with pry bars and a hammer. So let's go get these put on. We got to get this derby car out of the bay because Hillbilly needs to work on his car. All right, we got to notch the frame so it'll bend where we want it. We got everything cut. We got everything done. All we got to do now is hook it up with the telehandler, and we're going to put a little pre-bend on it, and then we're going to shape the 1/4 pound.
All right, I got the jack under the car. Got to lift it up. We're gonna get rid of these jack stands so we can let this down and back it up. Get it out of the bay.
All right, so normally we have a checklist right here or on cardboard, but I was in such a frantic craze to get this done while I was on the phone with Zachy Poo that it's just kind of everywhere. So, cut the floor. Yep, that is cut down there. 16 inches, 90-degree bend. Done. Cut off 24 inches. Done. Weld rear brackets and bumper really good. Well, it's welded. Cut 3/4 of an inch out of frame, 1/2 inch down, make a V. Done. Use telehandler to pre-bend trunk. Not done. Slice braces under floor, that is done. Now, paint. Most important thingy. So, we need to use the telehandler to pre-bend the trunk. We need to paint it. Let's pull this out. Let's pre-bend that trunk. We're not gonna paint it until tonight, but you guys do get to watch that. Instead, you're gonna watch Hillbilly work on his car, and then you're gonna watch me paint it. We're gonna paint it really, really nice. Just like I remember. Love it. All right, battery needs charged. That needs to be on our list. All right, so the way that this is gonna work is we're gonna bring the forks of the telehandler all the way in. We're gonna raise them up, chain the front of the forks to the frame rail. We're gonna put blocks at the back, and I'm just gonna go up and roll. What that's gonna do is put about a 2-inch pre-bend. Once I do that, we're gonna take a hammer, we're gonna dish it right here. So, we don't have any room to put the chain around the top of the frame. We're just gonna cut the trunk floor open, put the chain up through, chain it to the forks, and then we'll whoop. Hillbilly's gonna finish cutting that. He's got a few things he's gonna do while we're at lunch because he's not taking lunch. He's gonna start working on his car. We'll be right back. Okay. Hold it there. So we're gonna have him put pressure on these chains so it tightens up. A little more. I forgot that these forks are not locking, so we're gonna chain the forks and then we'll be able to do it. Hey, you're pressuring up there. Yeah, it's going. Piece right here. Just I'm hitting the hammer. So we're just unhooking one side, trying to get the passenger side to roll a little bit more. Driver side's looking good. A little more. All right, I think we got it where we want it. We're gonna pull all the chains off, and this is done besides the battery and painting it. All right, so I went ahead and grabbed Hillbilly's car for him. He's gonna grab mine. We're gonna play musical derby cars. All right, that was one of the most difficult bringing to the shops we've ever experienced, but you know what? It's in.
And Fred's hood didn't even get touched.
Yeah, didn't even touch Fred's hood. Okay, we have a lot of oil marks. Don't mind any of that. Everything is fine. We are certified half-asseries. Yeah, we're good. So Hillbilly has challenged himself to an unrealistic time frame. He's gonna have this ready to go in 4 hours. And that means 4 hours, tools down, derby it.
Wait, have you started it? Does it run?
No.
We're about to find out.
It doesn't.
It did when parked.
Is it? Here, I better get in it and hold the brake. No, he said this one was perfect. Is that really your shifter?
Yeah.
Hillbilly. What?
I had like 3 days when I first built it to get it built, so I just hurried.
Yeah, when you were building it for me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Hold on. Hillbilly, we got a problem.
It's Bluetooth.
Okay, how do we start this?
Turn the key on.
You're lying.
Just like a regular.
You're not lying. I think it has time to stick on. What? Warm it up! Oh! Ready to rock! There is hope. You know what that tells me? You'll at least be out there.
Yeah. As long as I get tires changed and steering done. First things first, I gotta get tires off and put different tires on so it actually moves like it's supposed to, or moves better than what it does.
Okay, you're halfway done with your tires. Let's throw that one up on the front.
Tires are done. The tires are
And then
done.
you got 3 16s and a 117
17.
or 615. Isn't the front different than the back?
Yeah. The front rim on right now is a 15. This is a 16.
So you have,
This is a 15.
oh, so you got 1 16 and 3 15. Perfect.
It's like running into the problem of this 16-inch rim is rubbing my calipers, but the rim that I pulled off there was a 15-inch rim. So that means the offset on that 15 was right, the 16 one's wrong, and so it's rubbing on the caliper. So I took my stud saver, put it on the back side of the rim so it's an actual spacer, and it feels like that's gonna make it so it don't lock up. We'll find out when I tighten it down. So that didn't work, putting the stud saver on the back side as a wheel spacer, so I'm putting this aluminum stock rim that came off this car on, because I know it clears.
So now that the tow truck is back, as soon as Hillbilly can get the steering hooked up, he can drive this out. We'll pull it on the tow truck and we'll straighten it out. Then he's got a lot of work to do on that box. He literally only needs to fix that right there. It just comes up. It's got 2 hours and 5 minutes left. So I'm cutting where the steering goes to the firewall. I think that's part of the reason why it pulled out.
Oh, so if your firewall goes to turn any, then it's gonna bend that down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up top is a U-joint. I got to get rid of that U-joint. So there's U-joint there, and a U-joint down here. So there's 3 U-joints. So this one's trying to move, this one's trying to move, and it's throwing this one out. But if I hold this right here where it's at, and then turn it, everything stays where it needs to be and turns. So I'm gonna remove that U-joint. Okay, so I got the steering to actually work better than what it was going to do by taking a piece of flat plate, welding across the U-joint on the one at the steering wheel. So now I have 2 U-joints. Now I just got to find a way to brace the center U-joint so that way it's not doing this and flopping around. It's staying straight like it's supposed to. Yeah, you stop that.
Well, first of all, you need to get the frame fixed because none of this matters. Until your frame is fixed, you're going to be on a heck of a bind. So fix your frame and then we'll determine how to get your steering right. But right now, it's because they're both like this, and so I just wanting to do this. So if you get it back here, yes, definitely get your frame down first. So what I would do, I would get this out, back it up on the tow truck, get it blocked. You know how to do it. Chain it down, and then we'll lift it down.
Well, now
Don't miss.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's get it loaded up.
Well, right now would be a perfect time to back this up, get the hose, see if it's leaking water out of the radiator or one of the hoses. Because if it's only leaking out of one of those spots, they're golden.
All right, so this is how we fix frames in Derby cars, at the Derby usually, but on these Ford Crown Vics, they just go up. So we don't want to take everything off the frame rack. You get in the way. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use the wheel lift, push it out, and we're gonna pull this frame down. I know when that's right. So now what we'll do is I'll bring it back and we'll chain it, we'll pull it. Oh yeah, that's it. Right there.
Okay, I'm getting ready to weld on my first fix-it plate. And what a fix plate is on pre-ran cars, you're able to put, can't remember the number, it's like 3 or 4 fix-it plates, and they're 4x6 by 3/16. And you put it on places where your frame has been starting to kink on, like I said, pre-ran derby cars. This one's a pre-ran, ran it last year, so that means I am able to fix it plates.
All right, so Robbie had to go to a soccer game, Little Reiki soccer game. Very important, so we told him, get over there. We got this. So me and Cody got together, and we're gonna whip the car around, derby car, and get around to the paint booth. So what we're gonna do is, Cody got in, he's gonna drive it around. We're gonna stop right before the front door, back door, and we're gonna clean it all out, blow it all out, vacuum any kind of dust, debris, anything that's fallen. We know the trunk is dirty. See that right there. But we're gonna get it all cleaned out. Then we'll proceed to pull it into the paint booth and mask it. They said it's the most masking I'll ever do in my life, which is the wheels and maybe the driver's seat and any kind of switches, battery box, transmission cooler. But yeah, let's paint this thing. Cody's gonna go over, he's gonna Bondo any of the dents that we have. He's gonna hurry and just put some filler on it. We want this thing smooth.
Smooth out the seams.
Yeah, and the dents.
Try to win best paint.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get a little plastic out. We'll do it quick and dirty. Pull some plastic, stretch it over to the inside, just mask the inside of the car, cut around the post. Shouldn't take too long. So when Robbie gets back, it'll be ready to go.
All right, just like that, me and Cody knocked this derby car out. Now it's ready to go for Robbie to come in, paint it. I was talking to Cody on how he's gonna do it. He explained a little to me, but we're gonna let you guys see the whole process of it.
The only thing I have left is this tire, which I called my dad, and he has a steel wheel that came off this car, so I know it's going to work on this car. So I'll put a steel wheel back on and get rid of this aluminum one. I don't want to take chances with aluminum because it doesn't really bend, it just cracks. I don't want to be the guy out there that has half a rim stuck to his car and the other half still rolling down the arena.
All right, so I'm back from a soccer game. Little Riker kicked some butt. He's got some good coaches, Will and Brock, that actually care about him. So I'm super happy about that. They lost their game, but you know what? I see major improvement in that little boy. So it was cool to go watch him. So we got the car ready. We're gonna put down some black base coat. So this is an acrylic enamel sealer. So we put down the black, then we put down the white, then we put down the blue, then we put down the white, then we put down the blue, then the white, then blue and white and blue and pink and white and blue and pink, and then white. And it's gonna look like it got struck by lightning. All right, this is the big mess making part. Oh, brother, one drop. Normally I spill way more than I'm spilling. That's why it's on a cardboard box. Oh my gosh. Oh, I made a bigger boo-boo than I thought. I need a rag. All right, so we went ahead and blow, tack, and staticked it in our head, and it's ready to go. We didn't really do it because this paint job doesn't matter. It has to look. It has to look good, and that's it. So we're going one full coat. We're doing nothing but a coverage coat. Now everything you see from here on out in this video is 100% for non-educational purposes. This is literally just an entertainment video on how to paint. Yeah, this is legitimately not how you paint. When you paint a derby car, it literally doesn't even matter, okay? All right, we got it all based out in black. We're gonna let this sit for a few minutes. We'll go grab some white. We'll come in and we'll outline the main lightning trunks. All right, it's time to mix up some white base. We're using our speed hecker over top of the sealer. We use the 3054 reducer, 2-to-1 mixture. We'll go in and we'll get our main bolts. Get our main bolts laid out. All right, I'm trying to get my main beam right now. So this is my inspiration. I'm just gonna get going and doing some main beams that all my little lightning is gonna branch off of. So things are gonna get a little weird here. All right, so we got the main white down. Now it's time to go grab some blue. We'll come back in with blue this all, and then we come back in with some fine white detail. So what we're gonna do is mix up some blue candy. This is Cobalt Blue KK05 from House of Color Blue, or from House of Color. It's a really, really awesome blue. So the way we build this, with DBT 500, we're gonna go 1-to-1. We're gonna go 14 ounces there. We'll go 14 ounces here. Now we gotta mix up some pink. This might be a little bit too transparent, but if we need to mix in some more cobalt blue, we will. All right, the most important thing we do on this is the pink. Okay, first coat of pink is done. All right, so with lightning, not every single piece of lightning is a big burst. Main trunks that go to the ground are a burst, and a few off shots, and then the end of it is usually really bright. So I'm gonna try to do my best. All right, we're gonna go one more round of blue before we come in and fine tune it with the white. All I gotta say is it's coming together. It looks like a disaster, but from the stand, this is gonna look like this thing is a big old lightning bolt. All right, so I'm gonna use my mini jet to kind of dial in the main beams. Then the offshoots, we'll use the airbrush. All right, it's 1:30 in the morning, 1:26. We just got all the white laid down now. Cody's mixing up some VC 5700 for me. I'm gonna clear this bad boy. Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. All right, we got some glass sauce. We really, really enjoy painting at 1:30 in the morning. All right, again, we blow static this in our brains. Now let's put down some glass sauce. And we are done. And now we're gonna destroy it. Oh, and I didn't have room to finish my name. I got Robbie Late, L-A-Y-T, but no O-N. All right, who says we don't finish projects? Look at this thing, it's finished. I got myself, don't worry. It's real late, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but this turned out as good as you can get a derby car. So I'm pretty happy with it. Cody and Colton stayed with me all night, so we're tired. But tomorrow, we destroy this at the Demolition Derby. All right, you are looking at the night crew. We pulled through. Derby car's painted behind us. Cody stayed, got paint all over himself, so we had to change.
Yep.
But you know what? We're not going to talk about that. So we're all tired, but as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.